Good morning. This is a read aloud for the Junior Scholastic News article called If You Lived in Ancient Greece. What was life like for kids in ancient Greece? Junior Scholastic travels back in time to find out. How did kids in ancient Rome live? Two young Romans, Lucia and Marcus, will serve as our guides as we travel back in time. The teens lived almost 2,000 years ago when 50 million people inhabited the Roman Empire. The empire was so vast that it stretched over 30 modern-day countries of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Our visit begins in the heart of Rome in the year 80 AD. Emperor Titus, who is known as a generous leader, rules over the land. It is morning, but the streets are already crowded and noisy. As people make their way to work and school, many walk, but some are carried by slaves. 2 or 4 men balance poles on their shoulder as they ferry people sitting on curtained couches. At one quarter, women shop for fruits at the market, while soldiers in leather armor share a laugh. From trade to a school. Marcus is a plebeian, a member of the Romans' working class. He lives with his parents in a small apartment in the city. As Marcus takes his seat at school, he tells himself that he will not misbehave today. Yesterday, he got whipped for not paying attention. Marcus studies hard to master reading, writing, and arithmetic. His lessons are in Latin, the language of Rome. His parents must work hard to send him to a privately run school since the government does not pay for education in Rome. In a few months, the wealthy kids in class will go on to higher education, but not Marcus. He must help support his family, so he will learn a trade. Marcus will become a stonemason, like his father. He will learn to cut and decorate large stones used to construct buildings and bridges. It takes a lot of skill to chisel each stone the right way. So Marcus will have to train for several years. He won't have much time to play chess or marbles like other kids his age. But the work he does will help create an architecture for which Rome will become famous. A traditional banquet. A few miles outside the city, Lucia finishes Latin lessons with her home tutor. Lucia is excited about the banquet her parents will host this evening. Lucia is an aristocrat. She and her family live in a huge stone mansion. Her father is a senator and he often throws parties to entertain fellow politicians. At the party, Lucia will wear a simple, loose-fitting dress over her tunic. Roman tunics were long woolen or linen clothing that resembled today's short-sleeved t-shirts. As the banquet hour approaches, she straightens one of the 3 couches that are set up around a long table for guests to lounge on. Soon the guests begin to arrive. They also wear formal clothing over their tunics. The men wear white woolen togas. These were the equivalent of today's suits. Lucia smiles and compliments the women on their beautiful dresses, jewelry, and crowns. Slaves come from the kitchen with food arranged on silver platters. Lucia chooses a little bit of almost everything from the buffet: eggs, olive, grapes, mushrooms, cheese, nuts, snails, and pork. She decides to pass on the flamingo meat. Everyone eats with their hands or with spoons. Forks were invented a few centuries later. They drink wine mixed with water that one of the slaves has brought in from the public fountain. Some of the guests excuse themselves so they can throw up their food to make room for more. No one finds this disgusting or upsetting because it's normal behavior for wealthy Romans. Favorite pastimes. On religious holidays, Marcus and his family join the lively crowds attending public games. Marcus loves to see the chariot races, the most popular form of Roman entertainment. Last month, he crammed into the Circus Maximus with nearly 300,000 other people. In ancient Rome, a circus was a large circular arena used for races and other sporting content. Marcus cheered with the crowd as the chariots, each pulled by 4 horses, raced around the track. Until he lost his voice, he rooted for green, his favorite team's color. In a few days, Marcus and his father will attend a gladiator fight at the Colosseum in honor of the god Jupiter. Sometimes 2 gladiators fight to the death. At other times, the emperor or a senator decides the fate of the gladiators. At the games, animals are often sent into the arena. Marcus remembers seeing a lion and a bear chained to each other. The 2 animals pulled on the chains as far as they could go, swatting at each other with their sharp claws. The lion finally sank his teeth into the bear. Marcus covered his eyes as blood squirted from the bear's nose, but along with the crowd, he screamed for more. Spiritual beliefs. Like many Romans, Lucia's family has a shrine to the gods in their home. Lucia worships the gods every day by offering them incense, wine, and food. Romans pray to different gods for different things. Lucia prays to Venus for love and to Mars for success in war. She does this so her brother, who is in the Roman army, may one day return victorious. Whenever something goes wrong in her life, like last week when she hurt her knee, Lucia believes that the gods are angry with her. She is hoping that this week the gods will favor her and help her get good grades on the exams given by her tutor. Lucia's mother is very superstitious. She believes that owls are a sign of upcoming disaster, and bees a symbol of good luck. The belief in gods will change over the next 2 centuries as Christianity and monotheism are introduced to Rome, then later spread throughout the empire by the Emperor Constantine. The regions of Rome will begin to break away, many forming their own countries. With that, life as Lucia and Marcus know it will disappear. Barbarian tribes will attack the borders of the empire, which will crumble around the year 476. After 1,200 years of rule, the Roman Empire will finally come to an end. Be sure to answer the questions on your Google form